Hello, I'm Mandy Kaplan here with an important message. Throughout the modern era, millions, nay, billions of people have enjoyed countless hours of video games, stars, both Trek and Wars, comic books, and other nerdy endeavors. That's an infinite number of gasps and laughs as 20-sided dice are thrown, Pokemon are caught, and Doctor Who has done whatever the hell they do. Yet one person has missed out on all of this. One woman who doesn't know her droids from her hobbits has been left behind. Until now. That's right. I'm trading in my Taylor Swift and Housewives for superheroes and Wookiees as I finally embrace all things sci-fi and fantasy on my podcast, Make Me a Nerd, with Mandy Kaplan. Each week, a passionate guest will try to baptize me into the world of nerdery as they share one of these iconic entities that I have somehow missed. And you can help. For just $5 a month or $55 a year, you can become a member. For your generous donation, which is less than a new Tesla, you'll not only be supporting my mission, you'll get early access to episodes, bonus content, and more stuff I haven't thought of yet. So please, join me wherever you podcast as I finally learn what all the fuss has been about and see if going through this nerd-education will, in fact, make me a nerd. Or, as they say in Klingon, who am I kidding?
Before we dive in, here's another show you can enjoy in the True Story FM family of entertainment podcasts.
Hey, psst. Hey, you see that Snickers over there? No one's looking. You should just take it.
No! Don't listen to him, my son. That would be stealing, and stealing is a sin.
Sin Schmin, it's a friggin' Snickers bar. You deserve to have it. Sinning really satisfies you.
Repent, my child. Virtue is the only real snack worth savoring. For that candy bar is merely a gateway to nougat damnation. Has this ever happened to you?
Listening to the devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other, and you're not sure what to think?
Then we're here to help. I'm Pete Wright.
And I'm Tommy Metz III, and this season on All the Feelings, we're examining the 7 deadly sins.
You know, the fun ones.
And the 7 heavenly virtues.
Which are also a thing. Through personal stories, historical oddities, and way too much embarrassment, we take you on a thrilling journey through all the goods and the bads you hear about in church.
But without all that pesky church stuff. So come join us for All the Feelings Season 9, a sometimes funny podcast about being human. All the sins, all the virtues.
All in one place. Go to allthefeelings.fun to learn more, or subscribe to All the Feelings wherever you get your podcasts.
Game over.
Hey there, true believers. Andy Nelson here from the Marvel Movie Minute podcast with the rest of the team.
Pete Wright.
Kyle Olson.
Rob Cabasco.
And Matthew Fox.
This is the podcast where we dissect the Marvel Cinematic Universe 1 minute at a time, exploring every detail of this epic superhero franchise.
In our season looking at Iron Man 3, we're going to mix things up a bit.
That's right. Rob and I are your guides, but instead of our usual minute-by-minute format, we dive into 5 minutes of the film in each weekly episode.
It's a totally new approach, but one that still allows us to explore all the depth and detail that makes these movies so special, even if Iron Man 3 isn't all that special.
Hold on. That's where you're wrong. Extremist, Shane Black.
Yeah. Would you like to look at the Mandarin and Maya Hansen? Mm-hmm.
So whether you're a die-hard Marvel fan or just love deep dives into movies, there's something for everyone on Marvel Movie Minute.
Suit up and join us on this epic audio adventure. You can find us at truestory.fm or by searching Marvel Movie Minute on your favorite podcatcher.
Because in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, every minute is packed with excitement.
Enough said.
Hooked on you, baby, you're golden. Time moves, I never noticed. Just can't get enough. Got me wonderstruck.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Make Me a Nerd. I'm Mandy Kaplan, a mainstream mom whose mission it is to explore all things nerd culture. And there is nothing nerdier than watching a bunch of voiceover actors play Dungeons and Dragons, which is exactly what I've done. And I did this because of my wonderful friend and one of my favorite guests, one of everybody's favorite guests, back for her third time. Ladies and gentlemen, Justine Huxley.
Hello, thanks for having me on again.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. You have really stepped up your nerdery.
I really have.
Let's get in the Doctor Who Wayback Machine, and it's called a TARDIS. And imagine when I said to you, do you want to be on my podcast? And you were like, I'm not that nerdy. I'm not nerdy about anything. Right? And we did a reality competition on Netflix, and then Disney, which you are an admitted Disney adult, which I think is nerdy and you don't. And now here we are, and you're playing Dungeons and Dragons online.
Online and in person. I'm going now all over the world playing live shows of Dungeons and Dragons at Comic Cons, which is also incredibly nerdy and fantastic.
Oh my gosh. How did this all happen? Were you drugged? How did they get you?
I have been doing Comic Cons as a voice actor. For those that don't know, this level of nerdery, nerds and fans and everyone can go to a Comic Con and meet on-camera celebrities, voice actors, their favorite voice actors, and I am known for mostly video games and a few anime projects and some animation, but probably the main thing that I'm known for is playing Watson in the video game Apex Legends. And I've been really lucky to go to cons all over the world, New Zealand, Canada, all over the US. I'm hoping to get to the UK next year, hoping to get to Australia. That's on the horizon, possibly Japan. We'll see what happens. But usually for these cons, we do meet and greets with the fans. We take pictures, we sign prints and plushies and Funko Pops. And we usually do panels about how to become a voice actor or what it's like to work in video games or animation. But they started doing these live D&D shows on stage instead of panels, or you could do a panel and a live stage show. And one of my friends from Apex Legends, Mela Lee, last year, in Chicago, she was at a con in Chicago, and she got asked by one of her friends to join her on stage with this company called Six Sides of Gaming to play D&D. They wanted experienced actors, really good voice actors that could do different characters and had improvisation training. And so she was really nervous because she had never played before, and they said, don't worry, we'll teach you. And so she played. They loved her, and they said, we would love to have more voice actors do this, because these D&D nerds and these D&D players who are just, for the love of it, they're so awesome. And they love seeing actual performances. And when an actor can embody, it was
not just that, yes, and it's also, there's a reason why I used to watch like Celebrity Poker or celebrities trying to be chefs or whatever. It's like, oh, I know those people. It's interesting to see them doing something that I don't see them do.
Right.
So they already know your work from your video games and your animated shows. And now they get to see you doing something totally different. And it's a thrill. I get it.
Yeah. And it's also like, it is different, but it's also similar because you are sometimes doing a different voice. You are playing a different character. They love seeing the different characters. So the producer, Tommy Gofton from Six Sides of Gaming, he asked Mela, do you have any other voice actor friends you think might be interested in, that already go to Comic Cons? Do you have any friends that might be interested in trying out some D&D on stage? And she said, yeah, I've got 3 other friends from Apex Legends. We do Comic Cons together all the time because cons love to have groupings of people from different shows or different video games, so that when a fan from that project or
Right.
Or
That's not just
so
Justine.
yeah, it's not just one
oh my
person.
God, the whole
It's like,
cast is
you can
here.
meet
Yeah.
4 of the cast members from Apex Legends,
Yeah.
which is awesome. So he said, that's such a great idea. I would love, even before meeting us, he said, let's do, let me bring you guys out to DreamHack Atlanta, which is a big gaming con in Atlanta. And that was last October. But
I know. I don't know.
before even meeting us, he said, I want to do a taped, recorded show with you, not just live shows. I want to see if we can do 12 episodes of a D&D recorded show at my studio near Toronto. And this was before he even met us, which was crazy because he didn't know if we would be good at D&D. And
right.
We met him 2 weeks before in Atlanta doing the live shows. Me and Johnny Young, who plays the barbarian druid on the show, Storm, we had never played D&D before. Mela had only played, I think, 2 or 3 times. She really didn't know. He didn't know. Nicholas Roy, who wasn't even able to make the con in Atlanta, his first time ever playing with us was at the studio in the first episode. So he really took a gamble on us, which I so appreciate because we really didn't know what we were doing. And in the 3 shows that I did in Atlanta, I learned a lot. And I actually got to see one of my friends who, Mandy, Anjali Bhamani, who is also in Apex Legends with me and in Overwatch.
Okay.
And she's a huge D&D player. She plays with Critical Role and Dimension 20, which are 2 of the biggest D&D shows out there right now. And she was doing a live show with the Dimension 20 people at DreamHack. So I got to see that too, which was really informative. And it was such a great show. So funny. And so that really helped me too. And then we were just kind of thrown in. We went to, it's a town called Cambridge, which is about an hour from Toronto. We went to Cambridge and Tommy is he's a producer, but he's also a very, very experienced D&D player. He produces all these D&D shows on his YouTube channel, 6 Sides of Gaming. He owns a gaming cafe in Guelph, which is about half an hour from Cambridge, about an hour from Toronto as well. And he is a board game designer. So he is like the nerdiest nerd of all time. And
very cool.
Yeah. And so
is he the DM?
No, he is
on the show.
Orc. Oh, he's our orc, the one with the tusks. He plays Camille with the
I see.
Wig,
yes,
curly wig.
Okay.
No, our DM is Devin, who also works at 6 Sides of Gaming.
Okay, so for those who are unfamiliar, it's the Dungeon Master is sitting screen left, and then the 5 characters are all sitting. They stack you like the Brady Bunch,
right? We're
like
actually
in
sitting
little
across
pattern
from each other, but yeah, the way they post it, the way they
right
put it on, yeah,
right. So there's Melee. Is that how you say her name?
Mela,
and she plays. First of all, she's very sexy. I hope I'm allowed to say that. Oof. She plays. Don't tell me. I know I have it written down somewhere. You can tell me.
She plays Anharad. She's a bard.
Anharad. Okay, and then you play an elf named Finia.
Sort of. I play a forest gnome. But with
a
little
forest
elf ears.
gnome.
Yeah, I play a forest gnome druid.
And then there's Storm, who's the barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
And next to you is what's he? Worm.
He's a rogue goblin.
Sure. Okay. And then there's Camille, who is got the tusks.
Yes, he's an orc.
So how did he set this up? Did you get a dossier of your character in advance? Did you make your costume? Did they put you in the costume? Tell me.
Yeah. So I am so lucky because my boyfriend, Scott, is a DM for his friend group. He's a dungeon master. And he's been playing with this friend group for probably 7 or 8 years. They usually play once every other month. So it's really funny because now I'm playing more than him. I'm playing almost every weekend, like 2 or 3 shows a weekend, and he's playing once every other month.
Crazy.
He was the expert, and now I'm like the professional D&D player. He just plays for fun. But I was so lucky because he really helped set me up. I did all the character work on my own, just like how you would do character work as an actor for a play or a movie or an animated show or a video game.
But you're looking at a paper. What did they send you?
So
You were looking at a paper, or did...
Yeah. Yes. So the paper is all my spells. So you're allowed to look at that. So because I'm a druid,
Okay.
I have many, many spells I can choose from. So you're allowed to look at your spells. And then also what we're looking at, each of our papers, we are looking at our modifiers. So when the DM says roll for persuasion or roll for insight, each of us has different modifiers. So when we roll, let's say I roll a 3, my perception perception modifier would be a 3 because that's at the level that I'm playing at. This is getting really nerdy. At the level that I'm playing at, my modifier would be a 3. But not everyone in the cast, not everyone's modifier would be a 3. It just depends on their class and species and what level they're playing at. So that's where Scott really helped me with all the numbers. So my first page is basically all the numbers and like my hit points and my armor.
You're saying, so I know my spells and my points or my numbers. Where do you get those? From your head?
There are books. There's so many D&D books that you can read.
Okay.
And so those are the rules of the game. So like my kind of character, my kind of character, my druid has certain spells that a druid can do. There's certain spells that a druid can't do. Like I can't speak with the dead. There's other types of characters that can speak with the dead, but mine can't. But as a druid, I can make plants grow. So that's a spell that I have on my list.
Then you also said like the numbers. And I thought Dungeons and Dragons was a dice game, but you guys are not rolling a dice.
We are. Yeah, there's dice in there.
I didn't see anybody roll any dice. I did hear the DM say, "What's your number? That's not high enough." And that part I understand.
I think it's because of the screen. The dice is like right in front of us, so you're not really seeing it, and it's not very loud because it's on these foam things. Yeah, for sound.
Okay.
So that's why you're not hearing it, but we are rolling.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes me feel better.
That's when I say like, oh, I got a 3. And then I'm like, oh, actually I got a 6 because of my modifier.
Okay. So this is the campaign, and it was very hard for me to follow, and I apologize. I really tried, but you're all on this quest.
It's totally fine because as a new player, I didn't understand how to do it either. So I can imagine someone watching this kind of D&D show for the first time might be really confused because it's not something they're used to. So I totally get that.
Right. Because I'm trying to figure out D&D, but I'm also trying to follow the story that you guys are creating as you go. So it was doubly confusing. Plus I was hammered. No, I'm just kidding. So, well, okay. But backing up, let's put up the picture again, Pete. This costume, where did this come from?
So great question. We got there on a Wednesday, and on Thursday was our prep day. We shot 12 episodes in 3 days, which was insane. Each episode is about an hour. So, and you can, like you saw, it takes a lot of concentration. It's almost entirely improvised, the show, which is what D&D is. And it's not just like a regular improv show. You have to remember so many things. That's why sometimes I'm writing down things on my paper so that I can remember.
God love you. Yes.
We are on a ship right now. No, I mean, like, that's what D&D players do all the time. It's not just me.
I know. Yeah.
But so, I'm writing down, okay, this NPC character is named, Bertha, whatever. I better remember that, write that down. Oh yeah, Bertha is a dwarf. Okay, let me remember that for the future. Then I can recall that. So it's not your typical improv show where you're on your feet and things are constantly happening, you have to remember, okay, great, I can't do what I'm hoping to do because I don't have that ability. Let me think of my abilities. Let me think of what I can do, and then I'll try and do it without stepping on anybody's turn, without, you know, making the D&D, like without breaking D&D rules. That's the whole thing. But anyway, the costumes, going back to the costumes, Thursday was our prep day, and we went to, it's very like DIY, which is very D&D. We went to Halloween Town. Yeah, we went to Halloween Town, Michael's and Target, and I got an ivy cape that was supposed to be like a poison ivy cape. I went to, that was at Halloween Town. At Michael's, I got all these fake flowers, fake ivy, fake leaves, a little raccoon, like a little pinecone raccoon. I got a flower wreath for my hair. I got little antlers. And that night, we started glue gunning, sewing, and attaching different things to our costumes while playing a practice game of D&D, because the 5 of us, plus our DM, Devin, had never played all together before. So we had a practice game. It was a day to ask any questions of our DM, of our producer, and we went to the gaming cafe to do that and tried to learn as much as we could and kind of do a crash course. And as much as Scott taught me, it can take, he's still learning. He's been playing for 7-8 years, and he's still learning. There's just, I don't know how many books, but I would say in terms of pages, thousands and thousands of pages of D&D related things and D&D books. So to learn D&D in like a day is kind of crazy. Luckily I had a little bit more time than that, but that's why.
And luckily you're crafty, because you made this absolutely wonderful costume. I could not have done that.
Thank you.
I would have shit the bed. Frankly, I'm not crafty. You are, but I just couldn't have gone to Michael's and then created that. So
yeah,
well done,
really
you.
Fun. Thank you. Yeah, we had a great time. The prep day was probably my favorite day of all. Because it was a learning day. We were just having so much fun, and we were starting to really get into our characters that day and starting to make big decisions about our characters that we hadn't made before. So I loved that.
You all sit down and the DM explains that there have been 19 squads and they've all died, and now you're squad 20 and it's your job to complete this mission. I'm not even sure what the mission is.
You got it.
And then you all set off.
Yes.
You all set off on this journey. And the initial times you all spoke sounded quite scripted. Did you have a little paragraph that was like, okay, this is what I'm going to say when it's my turn to introduce myself? Or was that all off the cuff? Particularly Mela. I'm not saying her name right. Mela, thank you. Mela sounded like, I've memorized my lines. I know my script. Like, she was smooth.
No, it was all off the cuff.
Wow. I mean, there are times later where it feels more off the cuff because you're all, jumping in and, responding to things. But those introductions felt really smooth.
I think because we like every live show that we do, we always have to introduce ourselves. So we have the idea in our head, what we're going to say. And we know at that point, I had done 3 live shows already. So I knew who my character was. I wrote like a 2-page biography of my character that I kind of condensed down in my head. And I think that's why it sounded a little bit more prepared, because we had done preparation. We just didn't memorize it.
So you're always Finia when you play?
I'm always Finia. For this campaign, I'm always Finia. And for the live shows, I'm always Finia until I decide to do a new character. But for now, I think because we just started the show, and we're going to be doing we're going to be filming a season 2 in August. I think it's best that we keep our characters so that people can get to know us as the characters.
And now, no one's watching you guys film. There's no live stream of it, is there?
No live stream. Just we had a couple of significant others in the studio, and we had our sound guy and production assistants and interns and people like that, but no audience for that one.
I don't know if it's this way when you actually play Dungeons and Dragons without an audience or without cameras. How do you know when to talk? Like, if the DM is like, you've run into a deep stream, how are you going to cross it? How do you know? Like, I'll do a spell, or I'll fly. Like, how do you know when it's your turn?
That's a great question. Because I didn't know that either, and I still get it wrong. I still make mistakes. Usually we roll for our turns, so the DM will say, everybody roll for whatever thing he asks you to roll for, and then whoever gets the highest number rolls goes first in the turn. But sometimes, like, some of the quips and things that we just say off the cuff, those are just improvised, just actors listening to each other, trying to come in when there's an appropriate moment, not trying to step on anybody's toes. It's not easy. Like, I know you've done improv. It's not easy to do, but that's what we try.
And you were all hilarious, and you were all cracking each other up.
Yeah.
Does that, is that
allowed?
Is that going to offend? Right. Is that going to offend real D&D aficionados?
So I asked that because at first, on our first show, I was not laughing the first 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, I didn't know we're allowed to laugh. Like, I'm in the theater Justine mode, and I'm like, oh, you're not supposed to break on stage. In D&D, you're totally allowed to do that. So there's two schools of thought in D&D. There are some people in D&D that stay in character the whole time, and I pretty much stay in character the whole time. Even when I'm describing what Finia is doing, I'll still use my fantasy Irish accent, and I will still be in character and be silly and everything. But a lot of D&D players don't. They will go into their characters when they're in first person, and then when they're in third person, they will use their own voice, their own way of doing it.
That's what Kamel did, and I was so confused.
Exactly. So I think
he would narrate, and he would be like, Kamel approaches the guard, and
so you're allowed to
him, and then he would.
Yeah, you're allowed to do either way. It's totally up to the player. For me, I feel like I'm more in it when I'm just Finia the whole time and don't go back into Justine. But you're totally allowed to laugh. At least in our game, you're totally allowed to laugh. In most of the games that I've seen now that are not ours, players laugh all the time. And I think from what I've experienced, we've done like at least 10 to 15 live shows now. And from what I've experienced, the audience really enjoys when we're enjoying ourselves and when we're laughing.
Of course we do.
Yeah. So I'm fine with it. At first I was like, no, don't laugh. Like, this is a show. Like, we're not supposed to laugh, but that's just not what D&D is. Like, you're allowed to break character. You're allowed to go in and out. So yeah.
And it is so highly engaging for us. It's like bloopers. We all love bloopers. Watching you guys crack each other up or not be able to finish what you're saying. That's when I felt like part of the gang and I was getting to laugh with you guys. And it's charming. So more of that. Don't stop doing that. Yeah. What has the reaction been for Squad 20, which launched on YouTube, and it'll be in the show notes so everybody can click on and watch it. But what has the reaction been from the D&D community?
So far, so good. Yeah, so far, so good. We've had sold out shows in Calgary, Canada. It was like, I think it was a 450 person house,
Wow.
theater, and we were beyond capacity. It was probably about 500 with people standing room only. And people even like coming in the middle and like sitting in the aisles. It was crazy. And Chicago was amazing. Atlanta was amazing. Yeah, we've had really amazing responses. And there was one guy in Atlanta that came up to me after the show, and he was just, a fan, like a con goer. And he said, I just want to let you know, I've been playing D&D for probably 20 years. I've played a lot of different gnomes. I've seen so many gnomes. Your gnome by far is my favorite. And I was like, wow, that's a great compliment. Thank you so much. He was like, you're a perfect gnome. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm doing something right, because I'm still feeling like I'm so new at this, and I still learn every convention I do with these live shows. I'm learning so much. And now watching the show back, because we were so new at it when we filmed back in October, I'm like, oh, I could have done this spell here, or I could have rolled for this, or, I'm learning so much, and it's fun to see that like beginning stage. But I do think, the more you do something, the easier it becomes.
Of course. And the other players, you said Kamel is an experienced D&Der.
Him and Devin, our DM, they're the only really, really experienced D&D players. Like, I think Tommy, who plays Kamel, has probably been playing for like 30 years. So he really knows his stuff. He has helped us a lot with the game mechanics and the rules. So has Devin. Devin has been playing probably 20 years. But then Worm, Stormy, Mella, who plays Anharad, and me, we're all very, very new.
You've already answered so many of my questions. I'm looking through and I was like, what is your perception and what are those numbers? But you've already answered that because you're a psychic as well as being a gnome. I got to say, Storm is my kind of guy, because at one point he was just yelling beer, meat.
Yeah,
beer,
meat. That's like his.
And I was like, yeah. Yeah, I could hang with Storm for sure. Did you ever think you would be doing this?
Never. Is
this a shocking turn to you?
This is a very shocking turn to me, that my boyfriend, this is like his dream, that his girlfriend is now a professional D&D player. He never in a million years thought that I would play D&D. And I never thought that, when he was like, okay, I'm going to go, I have D&D tonight with my friends. I'm like, okay, have fun. I never really thought much about it. When he was like explaining it to me, I was like, okay, that's nice. Like, I don't really get this. I'm glad you're having fun.
Right.
It's just not my thing. I never saw a game. I never went to one of his games. I never watched, like the YouTube shows of like Critical Role or Dimension 20 before this. I never listened to there's so many D&D podcasts now, so many D&D shows. I never was interested. And it's all because of these cons and Mella. I thank Mella so much, because I'm having so much fun. And it really makes the con experience so much more fun, because I love meeting the fans, and it's so wonderful to get to meet everyone and to get to go to these different cities. Like, I just personally love to travel. So it's really fun to try the new foods of the city. Like, I was just in Columbus and I tried Somalian food for the first time, which was incredible. And just getting to know the layout of a city is so fun.
Right.
But I'm an actor, and I didn't feel like I was using my performance skills. I felt like, oh, it's a great way to meet people, but I would love to be acting, and this is a great way to do both. So it's really fun.
Of course.
Yeah.
And to switch up the routine of like, oh, I go in and I do a panel, and then I do some signings, and then I do a meet and greet, and then I go home.
Yeah.
And now this is like, sometimes you get to have this whole different experience and perform and be creative. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Next up, pickleball. That's what everyone's doing, pickleball.
I hear that. Maybe I need to like write a pickleball song and record it or something and sing it while I'm playing so that I can do performance as well.
Does your character ever get to sing? Do these people know what an extraordinary singer you are?
You're so sweet. You know, it's really fun. In the show, Mella's character is the singer. She's a bard, and bards are usually either poets or writers or singers. So she mostly sings, and sometimes the rest of us will do backup. So I don't really sing that much in the show, but for the live shows, we have different themes. And like next week, there's an Evil Dead theme. So it's a zombie theme for one of the shows that I'm doing, which is really fun because my character, for those that haven't seen the show yet, that are listening to this podcast, my character is very naive, sweet, a little ditzy, and is a very staunch vegetarian and doesn't want to kill anything, including a fly. And so to put her into that world of zombies and death and gore is really funny and ridiculous. So that's been really fun. And then we're doing another kind of horror scenario as well for one of our second shows. And then the third show is a musical D&D adventure where we all sing. So we've been doing these musical adventures. Yeah, we've been doing these musical adventures usually once a con, like one show a con. And I get nervous though because I love to sing, and I'm super happy to sing a musical theater song or a jazz song that's already been written. But to improvise song and improvise in character is so nerve-wracking that I usually sing backup or just join in on whatever song is happening for these musical shows. I am working on getting better, and I've seen some of my friends who are in the shows write things down before the show or jot lyrics down during the show. And I think maybe, and you're allowed to do that, and I'm thinking maybe I need to start doing that because I definitely want to sing. It's just the improvised singing makes me nervous.
Yeah, I've done it in improv, and I happen to like it, and I do it 100 times a day to my cats. So I am well practiced in making up songs on the spot. And you can ask the cats. They all think I'm very good at it.
That's amazing. And you're so funny, too. I think.
And here I am saying, I'm not a nerd, but I actually injured myself once because I was dancing to entertain my cat and singing a song about how he's the best cat in the world. And I fully sprained my ankle or did something terrible to my ankle. And I had to explain, I was singing and dancing for my cat. Okay, so I'm going to do my business, and then I'm going to ask you to tell everybody where they can find the show and where they can find you. And it's all going to be great. Great. So, Make Me a Nerd is a production of True Story FM, engineering by Pete Wright, who has his work cut out for him today. Thank you, Pete. My theme song is Wonderstruck by Jane and the Boy, and you can get me on Instagram at Mandy_Kaplan_Clavens or on Blue Sky at Mandy Miscast. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, which I know you are. I just found out 98% of my listeners are on Apple Podcasts. Please take us a minute and leave a written review. Give it 5 stars and tell me what you think. It really helps more people find the show. And if you're feeling extra supportive, please go to makemeanerd.com/join. $5 a month keeps my lights on and gets you your episodes ad-free and early. That's all my business. Where can everybody find the show?
You can find our show on YouTube at the 6 Sides of Gaming channel, and it's called Squad 20. It comes out every week for 12 weeks on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Western Time Zone or 6 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. And we also are performing at a con near you. We will be performing at many cons in the U.S. this year. We will also be going across the world. Actually, I'm not allowed to say yet, but you can find me on at Justine Huxley on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the social medias, and I will be posting where we're going, which con, on my social media. And if there is a con that you want us to appear at and that you want us to do D&D live shows at, please reach out to the con, because that is the best way that they will know that we are wanted.
Fantastic. Well, you are wanted by me today and every day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this and for sharing this with me and introducing me to the world of D&D and YouTube D&D and watching other people play. This was all a bunch of firsts for me. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks,
for making me a better nerd. Until next time, thank you everybody for listening.